so to start off this look, we are going to, of course, prime our face. And what I like to do is just take my Mario Badescu facial spray and just spray it on, and then I take like a little cotton round and just rub it around my face to make sure there's no dirt or anything, and especially like run it through your brows because that will help your brows last longer and go on a lot smoother. I washed my face this morning and still all of that came off, so that's why I love doing that, and it's super easy. Now I'm going to take my favorite moisturizer, and this is by Benefit, the Total Moisturizer. My skin is so dry, so it's literally a need to put moisturizer on before my foundation, or by the end of the day I'll have like peelies all over my face. So I'm going to do these ratchet brows off camera because you know they take me like an hour, but I will definitely do a brow tutorial soon if you guys want to see that. So stay tuned. So I'm going to start off by priming my eyes with the Tarte Shape Tape. Finally tested this concealer out. Everyone has been obsessed with it, and I was really late, but I tried it out and I'm so obsessed with it, and I should have tried it sooner. So you want to make sure with every makeup look you prime your eyes with like a concealer or something that will give your whole entire eye a nice even base. And make sure you always set that concealer just so the eyeshadow on top of it blends. That's really important, or it's going to look patchy. So set those out, let's go. So starting off, we're going to go in with Burnt Orange. So this is just a nice transition color. It's very important to have a transition color when you're doing any freaking work on your eyes, just so everything will blend smoothly. So I'm just taking this back and forth with my M441 from Morphe, and just blending it in. Now that we have our transition color on, we are going to go in again with Burnt Orange, but we are going to mix it with Real Gar this time, just so we can have a nice gradient and not go straight to Real Gar at first. So we are going to put that a little bit more densely into the crease than we did with the transition. So we're just going to work that right into the socket, and we're just going from inner to outer corner. So it's going to look a little something like this first, and whenever you're done with putting a new color, you want to take your big fluffy blending brush and blend those two colors together. This is really important to do that because, girl, your eyeshadow needs to be blended. We are just going to take the color Real Gar, and we're going to take our Morphe M433 brush, and we're just going to place this all over the lid, just tapping it on there. And once we have our whole lid covered, we are just going to take this up into the socket just to blend it out even further. Make sure it's nice and seamless. Again, with our big fluffy blending brush, we're just going to buff out the edges, make sure it blends. The eye look is seriously so simple, so if you guys try it out, please tag me because I would love to see it. And honestly, the Modern Renaissance is like such a good everyday palette, so I would really recommend it, and the shadows blend so smoothly and I'm obsessed with it. So of course it is time for a wing. I'm going to make this one really long, really thick, you know. And my favorite eyeliner is a NYX Matte Liquid Liner. It's super black and it has a really pointed tip to it, so it's really easy to create a wing. So I'm going to have probably a wing liner tutorial, so I'm just going to go through this fast, but all I'm going to do is draw a line and then I'm going to connect it. I'm just coating my lashes to prep for some falsies, and I'm going to be using Cocoa lashes in the style Goddess for this look. So for foundation today, I'm going to be using my Maybelline Matte and Poreless. I'm in the shade 220 Natural Beige. Pour some on there, and I like to just spread it around with like a little foundation brush, just because I hate using my fingers. It feels really ratchet. So this brush was like $2 from e.l.f. So you guys should really get it. I'm obsessed with it. You get these sideburns out of the way, and then we are gonna blend it out with a beauty blender. This one is from Real Techniques, and I'm literally obsessed with it. I like it way better than my beauty blender. And your fake nose ring, like, pop out. I literally am so surprised people haven't made fun of me yet, because in every picture my nose ring is on whatever side brow looks better. So I just dig it in. If this eyebrow looks ratchet, I put it on this side. Yeah, that's my trick. Alrighty, so moving on to highlighting, I'm going to take my my Tarte Shape Tape, and I use the color white, but if you guys are using me as a reference for what shade, I think I actually bought this too light, so I would go with a couple shades darker than light, because girl, this is so white. But thankfully I don't have my self-tan on, because it's just, I can't even try with it on because it is so bright. So we are just going to blend that with our beauty blender. So once we have blended that concealer, I just like to take my Mario Badescu spray on my beauty blender, and then I like to put some Arxam A powder on it and just kind of pat that into the skin. By putting like a spray on your beauty blender and making sure it's like wet, it like really helps the powder to just dissolve into your skin and really have that concealer set to your face. Baking really doesn't work that well for me because I have such dry skin, so this really helps me. So if you guys have dry skin, you should try that out. Now that I've set my under eyes, I'm going to set my whole face, and I use MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Medium Tan. It's really important to set your whole face, because if you go in with like bronzer and contour right over your foundation, it can just not blend as smoothly, and you can have patches on your face, and you do not want that. So taking my Real Techniques blush brush and MAC Give Me Sun, I'm just going to bronze up the whole skin. I seriously am obsessed with this bronzer, and I'm obsessed with this brush. And it's pretty cheap, so you guys should check it out. Just the blush brush by Real Techniques for bronzer. It's so beautiful. And you know, I like to go a little bit heavy on my bronzer, especially when I don't have my self-tan on and I'm really pale. And taking my Benefit Hoola bronzer and my NARS Ita brush, I'm just gonna chisel out these cheeks. Make sure they're nice and cut. I like to cut this jawline so I don't have a double chin. And since I have a round head, I like to just stay on the temple area. When you have a round head, you don't want to contour this part of your forehead. You want to stay just by the temple area, like stop right about there. Girl, I've learned the hard way, contouring all of this, and then I just look like even more of a circle. And then I always contour the bottom of my lip to make it a little bit more full. By a little bit more full, I mean like not as flat as it is. Okay, so I'm just going to clean up this contour with some RMCA powder, just a little bit, make sure it's nice and sharp. And for blush today, I'm going to be using my Sigma Core de Rosa blush. I'm obsessed with this shade, it's so pretty. And I'm just going to blush up these cheeks, blend it back, make sure there's no gap between my bronzer and blush. The foundation, because you want to make sure it's nice and seamless. And for highlight today, I'm going to be using Amber Gold from the Ultimate Glow Kit. And this is my Morphe M501 brush. This brush just is everything for highlight, so definitely check it out. It's like $7, so it can't go wrong. I like to use my finger for the nose highlight. It's because that brush is too big for it. And then I also like to use just a bit in the inner corners to brighten it up. And then I also like to go under the brow with this highlight as well, just make sure everything goes together and coordinates. And who doesn't like a sparkly underbrow? Now wipe off this bakage. And to finish off this look, I'm going to run some white liner in the waterline just to open up my eyes. And we're going to take the same brush we did for our upper eyes, and we're just going to take whatever we have left on the brush, and we're just going to coat all under the lower lash line just so that it goes together and we have some dimension under there. So I'm just going to add some freckles because I really feel like it just brings this look together for some reason. I'm going to use the Hoola bronzer at first, and this is just a detail brush from Michaels. It's really small, but you can do with whatever little brush that you can find. So I'm just going to softly just place random little dots on my face, just like freckles. And then once we have that kind of base coat for our freckles, then I go in with my medium brown Dip Brow by Anastasia, and I just do the same thing, just maybe have fewer freckles with it since it's a bit more pigmented. Alrighty guys, so the last step to this look is to add some lipstick, some black lipstick, and I'm going to be going in with the Lime Crime Velveteen in the shade Black Velvet. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. I hope that you guys like this look, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!